Faith in action. Nehemiah's bold mission. The book of Nehemiah. Have you ever looked at something broken and felt deep in your heart? This has to be fixed, even when no one else believes it can be. That's exactly how Nehemiah felt when he heard that the walls of his beloved city, Jerusalem, were still in ruins. Nehemiah wasn't a builder. He wasn't a warrior. He was a cupbearer to King Artaxerxes in Persia, a trusted servant who tasted the king's wine to make sure it wasn't poisoned. But one day, Nehemiah received heartbreaking news. The walls of Jerusalem, his ancestral home, were destroyed. The gates were burned. His people were exposed and ashamed. He couldn't sit by and do nothing. So Nehemiah prayed. Deeply, honestly, passionately, he asked God for favor and boldness. When the king noticed Nehemiah's sadness, he asked, "Why does your face look so sad when you're not sick?" Nehemiah took a deep breath and told the truth. He shared his heart. He shared his burden. And the king, surprisingly, said yes. He gave Nehemiah permission to go to Jerusalem, and even provided materials and guards for the journey. God was already working behind the scenes. When Nehemiah arrived, he didn't rush to speak. He quietly surveyed the city at night, riding through the ruins, examining every broken piece of wall. He wanted to understand the task before him. Then, he gathered the people and said boldly, "Let's rebuild the wall of Jerusalem so we'll no longer live in disgrace." And the people responded, "Let's start building." But not everyone was happy. Men like Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem laughed at them. Sanballat sneered, "What are these feeble Jews doing? Can they bring these stones back to life?" But Nehemiah didn't stop. He armed the workers, half built the wall, half stood guard. Some worked with one hand on the bricks and the other on a sword. They were building under threat. But they were building together. Then things got even tougher. There wasn't just trouble from outside. There were problems inside. The poor were being mistreated by the rich. Nehemiah stepped in firmly but fairly, calling out injustice and making sure people treated each other with respect. He wasn't just building a wall, he was rebuilding a community. Through prayer, courage, teamwork, and persistence, something incredible happened. In just 52 days, the wall was finished. 52 days. What people thought was impossible, God made possible. Their enemies were shocked. Even they had to admit, surely God was with them. Nehemiah wasn't a builder, he wasn't a priest, he wasn't a king, but he had a burden, he had a prayer, and he had faith. Lesson: you don't have to be powerful to make a difference. You just need to care deeply and trust that with God, broken things can be rebuilt. So what's your wall? What's broken around you that you're called to rebuild? Let Nehemiah remind you, faith, prayer, and bold action can restore anything. Lessons from Nehemiah's story. Prayer should be our first response. Before taking action, Nehemiah prayed. He didn't rush ahead with his own plans. He brought his burden to God first. Lesson: before making big decisions, pause and pray. God can guide your next move. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Nehemiah wasn't a priest, prophet, or warrior. He was a cupbearer, but he became a great leader because he stepped up when it mattered. Lesson: you don't need a fancy title to make a difference. All it takes is courage, faith, and willingness. A vision brings people together. When Nehemiah shared his passion and purpose, others followed. People of all backgrounds worked side by side to rebuild the wall. Lesson clear: meaningful vision inspires unity. When people know the why, they're more likely to support the how. Opposition will come. Stay focused. Nehemiah faced mockery, threats, and sabotage. But he didn't quit or get distracted. He stayed focused on the mission. Lesson: Don't let critics, fear, or pressure stop you. If your mission is right, stay the course. Leadership means standing up for what's right. When Nehemiah saw injustice among the people, he called it out. Even though it was difficult, true leadership isn't just about building things. It's about building people and doing what's fair work and watch at the same time. The builders carried tools in one hand and weapons in the other. They were prepared to build and protect. Lesson: be productive, but stay alert. Progress sometimes requires both focus and defense. God honors faith and perseverance. Despite opposition, the wall was finished in 52 days, an amazing accomplishment that stunned their enemies. Lesson: when you trust God and don't give up, what seems impossible becomes possible. Broken things can be rebuilt. Jerusalem's walls were in ruins, but they were restored with faith, unity, and hard work. Lesson: no matter how broken things look, relationships, dreams, communities, they can be rebuilt.
Hi, friends. If you enjoyed this story and feel inspired, there's so much more where that came from. On this channel, we dive into uplifting, faith-filled content to encourage you in your journey. If you're looking for more inspiring Bible stories, lessons of hope, and moments to strengthen your faith, hit that subscribe button now. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together, let's grow in faith and share God's love with the world. See you in the next video.